Over a dozen individuals living or working in Needham made the list of most influential business leaders of color curated by the Charles River Regional Chamber in collaboration with Get Connected. In a new development this year, the list also acknowledges 20 emerging leaders under the age of 40. Among them is Dr. Monica Midha from Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital in Needham, who's been recognized for her dedication to creating a more inclusive working environment. Municipal producer Yu Xiao Yuan has the opportunity to speak with her about her experiences making the first profile in our series on the 2023 business leaders of color.
Despite the demanding schedule of a physician, Dr. Midha managed to carve out time to establish the Diversity and Inclusion Committee at Beth Israel Deaconess Needham, aiming to improve the working environment for colleagues who may encounter various forms of bias and discrimination, and a lot more.
Some of the things we have achieved include creating a policy to help individuals respond to incidents of discrimination and bias in the workplace. We've helped create a lactation room to ensure that our female team members also have a dedicated space for nursing. We've worked on creating gender neutral restrooms, and those are some of the things we've already started working on. One of our current initiatives is a colleague of mine and I are working on microaggressions training. So we've created a training curriculum that's built based upon survey responses that our attendees fill out prior to the session. And we then go ahead and present to them a toolkit of scripted responses they can utilize when faced with instances of microaggressions. And that's an ongoing project that we're working on within the committee. We have several upcoming projects. We have a Juneteenth and Pride event coming up this month. We're talking about doing a multicultural potluck. We kind of have an ongoing set of things that we're always working on and always trying to push forward. So many different initiatives that we work on at the same time.
Midha shared her own personal encounter during her residency in New Jersey.
I had a very difficult encounter with a clinic patient who made some very aggressive racist comments to me. And that sort of sat with me in a very difficult way. And I carried that all the way through without much support from my supervising team at the time. And then once I joined Beth Israel and I started working here, and I started to see smaller comments similar to that creep up, this type of bias or discrimination, whether it's race or gender or age or disability, whatever that bias was, it's not okay. And we need to have a safe space and have a team of people that want to do something about that. And the institution has been nothing but supportive. Our leadership has been far beyond more supportive than I could even ever imagine.
And what advice would you like to convey to fellow professionals who might be encountering those some type of bias and discrimination?
First and foremost, trying to assess whether or not the person who said whatever the comment was, whether or not they meant it. Oftentimes people don't mean it. It's a slip of the tongue. But when you do face those instances that are true and real and hurtful, thinking about how you want to respond to that. The training that we're putting out is that we help people have a base sentence or framework to just get started. Because in the moment when you're faced with some sort of statement that's egregious and uncomfortable and you don't know how to respond, at least having something in your back pocket. We all know we do better when we follow a script than when we just ad lib. So I often tell people, have something in the back of your mind and then build upon it in a calm and collected manner. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to tell the other person that what you said didn't sit well with me.
Do you perceive any opportunities for the minority groups nowadays?
I certainly think that over time, we have become way more welcoming and open-minded about all sorts of different cultures and different issues related to gender and race and what have you. So while there have been many challenges, at least the conversation is happening now, and the conversation wasn't happening before. And that's a huge opportunity. There's support from so many more people, and people are now opening their eyes to the reality of we live in a multicultural world. We work in a multicultural environment. That is not going to change. And that is how we enrich our team. At least from what I can perceive, I think we as a community have certainly excelled in that area.
How do you feel about being recognized as the emerging leader of color by the Chamber? And what does this recognition mean to you?
It was really, really incredible to receive the honor. And I so appreciate being nominated for it and being selected for it. I think it just shows that small fish in big pond still means something. You know, I work in a smaller community, and it's still recognized as a really great accomplishment. And that means the world to me. It means that the work we're doing is being noticed, and that it's meaningful and valuable, and not just to the team members that I work with, but across the community, across the state. And that is so important to me.